Hello there, welcome to the YouTube video here on the channel. My name is Emily. I'm going to reach for a monster as it is that time of the morning. Yes, that's right, I've messed my sleep cycle up again, so I'm here. And yeah, so I thought what we could do today is we could drive 57007 Freightliner Bond on a route learning video from here at Ely across the, is it the Fen Line? I think it's the Fen Line to Peterborough. Should have researched that beforehand, lol. So we'll unpause and we'll get into the train. So the train that we are driving today is a Class 57 by UVI using a reskin from Budget Simulations. Today we're playing scenario 4 Echo 62, which is the scenario that comes with the route, which is the Alan Thompson sim. Kings Lynn and Peterborough to London King's Cross via Cambridge. So to give you an idea of the route map, this is the map. So up here is Kings Lynn. We've covered Cambridge to Kings Lynn already in a video, so Cambridge is here. So we've sort of driven this bit before. And today we're going to be driving across the top here, past March, which is, correction, Whitmore Yard, and into Peterborough. Where's March again? I generally can't remember now. So I just sort of prepped the cab there without even thinking about it. Master key goes in and the reverser goes to neutral. We are against a red signal, so we're not going to go into forward yet. I'm going to turn on my instrument lights, and I'm going to let my brakes off into release, and then basically apply a notcher brake. Actually, I can let the brake off fully, put it into running, actually I can put it into release to actually let it off, and then I can put my loco brake on, and that'll hold the train in position. So this train is really heavy today. I will actually double check because I think I can get the values for the weight. But there is actually a risk of us becoming stalled at one point, and I may have to sort of amberline the amps. But I'm not sure if that's an issue with this train being underpowered in the simulation, or an issue with just the train being too long. But anyway, because this is powered by two Class 37s in the original scenario, and they don't struggle. So I think it may just be a case of the train's designed to be hauled by two 37s, not a 57. So I'm just replying to a Discord message there. But yeah, so the Class 57 will look familiar to you all. That's because it's a body snatcher. So the Class 57s are former Class 47s with a new engine fitted to them. So I'll get the little blurb up in front of me so I can read that to you whilst we sit here and enjoy the engine ambience of the Class 57. So the British Rail Class 57 is a diesel locomotive that was remanufactured from Class 47s by Brush Traction of Loughborough between 1998 and 2004. In reference to these locomotives being remanufactured, they are often referred to by enthusiasts as body snatchers or zombies. There goes the 365, so I'm going to go into the cab. There are three variants of the Class 57, one designed for freight traffic, the 57-0, and two for passenger operations, the 3 and the 6. We've got the road, so I'll proceed and then I'll talk some more. So, I'm just going to go notch 3 of power. Our start speed limit is basically 20 miles an hour, but we accelerate as though we're going for 40, is my advice basically on this one. Let's put the reverser into forward and try again. There we go. One issue we're not going to have is accelerating too quickly today. So this loco driving today is a Class 57-0. As such, it is limited to 75 miles an hour. The 3 and the 6 subclasses are limited to 95. I'm going to open a can of Monster because is it an Emily video with that kind of Monster? Am I right? The initial operators for the class were Freightliner, which is what we're driving here today. And you know, they were the first sort of operators, and then Advanza Rail Freight bought some. River Trains Wales, Colas hired a few in, but those were sort of hire-ins from Virgin. So they always wore the Virgin livery. They never actually wore the Colas one. Network Rail had a few after they left Virgin, and they're now exclusively operated by Direct Rail Services, GWR, ROG, West Coast Railways, and LSL have purchased 2 Class 57s as well, which are pretty much going to be, well, I think they're pretty much going to be used for rail tour duties. We'll pull back a notch of power. Right, so like I say, we're going to be just running up across the line today. It's 31 miles in total. It is the Ely Peterborough line. It's not the Fen line. The Fen line. Oh no, of course, the Fen line's Cambridge to Cambridge to thingy thing. I know what I mean. You know what I mean. That's good. Sorry, I'm just losing my mind today as usual. Yes, so the Ely Peterborough line is a railway line in England linking East Anglia to the Midlands and is part of the Network Rail Strategic Route 5 and is classified as a secondary line. It's used by a variety of interregional and local passenger services from East Anglia to the West Midlands and North West, as well as freight and infrastructure traffic. It also links with the busy East Coast Main Line at its western end. Fenland District Council put forward the rail development strategy for the route in 2012. As we go to idle power, I'm just going to use a jabber brake and just leave us in release so that we get to hold 20 miles an hour here. As you can see, we get a 20. I believe it's this bridge, that's the weak point here. And that is the closed level crossing at Ely. And we've also got Ely Cathedral over in the distance. Yeah, so the line was originally opened by the East Counties Railway in 1847, linking the ECL main line from London via Cambridge and Ely to Brandon and Norwich with Peterborough. Trains initially terminated and started from Peterborough East, though a link to the Great Northern Railway was subsequently built to allow through running to the Midland Railway line to Leicester and the GNR main line to the north. Onward travel was also possible over 2 London North Western Railway lines from Peterborough to Rugby and Northampton, whilst March would soon become a very busy junction, with the opening of branches to Kings Lynn via Wisbeck and Cambridge via St Ives. Many of the branches fell victim to Beeching's axe in the early 1960s, as did Peterborough East and many of the intermediate stations. There's our 75 there. The March and Spalding line also closed in 1982 with the rundown of the marshalling yard at Whitmore, leaving only the original main line in operation. So there's the 6, so it's a 60 here. And what I'm going to do is wait until we pass it, and then I'm just going to go, and then draw idle, and we'll hear a double beep, which is our train length indication. Our indication that the rear end of the train is passed, and after that we can accelerate away from here. So the line is double track throughout and has a loading gauge of W10 and a line speed of 40 to 75 miles an hour. Apart from short stretches at each end, the line is not electrified. So main sort of stuff you'd see down here nowadays is you've got your Great Wrangler 745s, you've got your 745s, your 170s with cross country, you've got your 66s on freight, the odd 70 I guess, and you've also got diversions. So when the East Coast Main Line's closed between Peterborough and Stevenage, or between Peterborough and Hitchin, correction. So there we go, that is our train length complete. So I'm going to go into notch 4 of power to accelerate up towards 60 miles an hour. So like I say, when the line between Hitchin and Peterborough is closed for engineering works, East Coast Main Line traffic can be diverted down here. Obviously, so actually interestingly, the line from Hitchin to Cambridge, or Hitchin to here really, is not certified for 800s to use electric power. So any Azumas that run through have to do so on diesel power. And that's one of the reasons you'll never see Lumo come down here, because I think if it was electric power to to Ely, and they're probably running multiple with the whole trains unit, and then be dragged through to Peterborough and then separate. However, basically with the fact that it would be dragged all the way from Hitchin, the Hull would lose too much time. Which is sad, I guess, but it is what it is, right? So I'm slightly over revving there, so I'm going to come back a notch on the power. Just let that speed build. On the left-hand side there, that's Ely Pap with sidings. So we are, like I say, this train is exceptionally heavy. Can hear the 57 is working hard. Would help if the headlights had been turned on. I do apologise for that, folks. I should have caught that they weren't. But the headlights on this are custom textured, which is quite nice. So as we accelerate, I'm going to give it an extra notch and see if I can get away with that. So we are at 32 miles an hour. Bit of extra power. So coming around this curve, we do also get a 75 speed post. If we haven't already, whilst I was looking at things. There we go, full power. Right, so yeah, like I said, the Class 57 is a train. It's a weird one. So, by all intents and purposes, I was chatting to one of my friends, who Bex, who people will know from the train sim groups, and she was saying they're basically horrible. And you think it is a good idea, right? Take a perfectly serviceable Class 47 that has issues with reliability because the engine is old. Stick a new engine in it. As always with post-privatisation great ideas, the idea was great. The execution, not so great. So, yeah, therein lies the problem with the Class 57. But, like I say, I do enjoy them, and I do enjoy driving the VP units. I may do a route learning video with one, but over there. But like I say, I'm trying to balance, getting the right level of sorry, I'm struggling to English again today. Getting the right level of balance across rolling stock an area, because I could very much sit and bash the southeast of England for a month, but after a while you guys go, oh, she's Plymouth 375 again. I can't be bothered dealing with that, and I've run out of stuff to talk about. I may end up doing that though, because I do need to cover some stuff down there. But generally for route learning, like a route like this is really easy, because it's 60 to 75 miles an hour throughout, largely. And, the only time that it really becomes, only time that this becomes a challenge is when you're braking at the other end, Whereas if you think southeastern commuting, how many dozens of times can you stop there on one train, right? You pick up a stopping train from Dover to Victoria, and you're there all day. And yeah, to be honest, I think I've got some bad memories of the southeast, and you associate that with and yeah, like I say, I don't know. I am going to be doing. I'm hopefully planning to do like a proper Thameslink through run, but again, they're legendarily bad, Because I actually I went through the Thameslink core for the first time with one of my friends. We went because I've done. I've not actually done the Midland side of Thameslink, but I did. Me and my friend Hannah. We were going to see Cabaret, and the Playhouse Theatre. Which is where it's held, is not that far from Blackfriars. So what we did is we jumped on a Thameslink and then walked along the Thames, went to the National Theatre, went to their gift shop, and then bought a book which I couldn't really afford to buy, but lol. But it was, to be honest, it's a book I'm glad I have. Sorry. And then went to see Cabaret, and that's where I got my new face mask as well. So the London Transport Museum does like branded merchandise, and they do the seat maquette and stuff. Just checking our speed there, still climbing. Like I say, we will struggle to get to 75, I'll tell you that much. But you can buy stuff from them. Like, for example, Elizabeth line gifts, right? I'm going to change to a display capture really fast. Let's not get those. So I'm just going to capture that really fast. Out of paranoia. So you can get all kinds of cool stuff, like the maquette for the various stations. But I got this, and I didn't pay £8 for my mask, but it's an Elizabeth line seat maquette face mask, and that to me is a really cool thing to own, because I am a colossal freaking nerd. So there we go. I just changed back to game capture only. But yeah, that to me was really cool to own, to have. Sorry, and get to. Yeah, and to be honest, I'm trying to get myself back into wearing face masks. I have a work branded mask, but like there's times I can't wear that. So for example, if I go to a pub and I'm drinking alcohol, I can't wear anything that's work branded for obvious reasons. So I don't know. So we're going to be checked down for a 60. So what I'm going to do is knock the power off and coast for now, because our 60 speed limit kicks in just before that bridge. So we're going to get a Morpeth board on the left hand side. But what I'm going to do, yeah, this will be the AWS for, well, no, I can just see it just ahead there. But I'm just going to put a gentle nudge of brake on. Really just the tiniest amount. There's our 60, and we can coast. So, yeah. Like I say, this is as scientific as this one's going to get. So there's the 60. We don't get the improved performance speed, and then we coast at 60 for a little while before we re-increase. Obviously, in this era, this is pre-755 introduction. This is the early 2000s, so we are getting a 156 coming the other way. Give him a cheeky wave. Where's he going to and from, I wonder? He is on his way from Birmingham to Stansted Airport, South Central trains. So now that we've cleared the we're basically waiting for the tail end of this train to clear this speed sign here, and which we now have done, and now we can go to 75 again. So it's straight back into full power. You can see the amp starting to build there. So quick little cab tour, I guess, the Class 57 now that we're here. You've got emergency brake valve, so you'd pull that, and that would basically open a drain in the main... No, not the reservoir, the brake pipe. That's the word I was looking for. You've got your loco brake. That secures... That's basically used to secure the locomotive itself without braking the rest of the train. You've then got your auto brake or your train brake, engine start stop, cab secure radio, fault lights. TPWS is fitted. I think this is just in the days before TPWS, so that wouldn't quite be there yet. So you can imagine it not being there. You've got all your light controls as per 47. Interestingly, it thinks the headlights are in night mode, lol. Looking down ahead of us there, we've got the... you've got your main reservoir pressure, your brake cylinder pressure, your brake pipe pressure, speedometer, ammeter, fire alarm test, two-tone horn, AWS reset, windscreen wipers, that is your screen wash, which doesn't work, and your train length, which is what we used earlier when we were leaving Ely to judge the length of our train. So you press that, and because we've told I believe it's done through the data cord, I'm not actually sure, but we've told the train how long it is, it then knows how many wheel revolutions to have before I can accelerate, basically. And that's how it does that. Ammeter, like I mentioned, step throttle, reverser, parking brake, instrument light dimmer switch. I prefer it in the high position because it's daytime. And that is your defrost for the windscreen, I believe. You've then got the data cord here, which is your on-train monitoring and your cleverness of the train. And you've got the hot plate. And then you've got the second man's horn, second man's seat, and that's it. That's the cab of the 57. Not really much to talk about other than that. Sorry, I'm recording this at 5:27 in the morning because lol depression. Sorry, I joke about it and I laugh about it, but yeah. I was just chatting to someone about one of my cosplay things, so I did just want to respond to them there because it's about bedtime for them because they're on the west coast of the US. Thinking of things to talk about, but I can't really think of much. I guess we could go through the history in these with Freightliner. During 1997, the recently privatised operator Freightliner placed an order for initial 6 Class 57-0s. The first were released to traffic in July 1998 and coincided with the unveiling of the new British Racing Green Freightliner livery. After an evaluation period, Freightliner was sufficiently impressed in order hang on. I can't brain today. So there's a 60 post. That's about a mile to go. So I'll idle power again. We'll coast for a moment. So after an evaluation period, Freightliner was sufficiently impressed to order further 6 during 1999 and stated its long-term plan to eventually acquire a fleet of 25 Class 57s. However, the plan was abandoned and no further Class 57s would be ordered by the company, largely due to Freightliner's preference switching to the Class 66s that were newly built. And opting transfers from mainly Class 47s to the metal recycler CF booths. All were leased from Peterborough. Quite sad, really, but it is what it is, you know. With these, like, they're nice and you know, it's cool because it's an old train, but at the same time, you can appreciate that, you know, probably not the best for the job. During 2007, Freightliner started to replace its 57s with new 66s. And of the original 6, 3 went to DRS, 2 to Advenza, and the rest to DRS. And the remaining 57 zeros were sold to West Coast Railways in January 2011. The original 12 were named Freightliner Pioneer, Freightliner Phoenix, Freightliner Evolution, Freightliner Quality, Freightliner Excellence, Freightliner Reliance, Freightliner Bond, which is one that we're driving today. Now I'm going to check my notes because I think I may have to slow down here, and I've not thingied myself here for it. So we've done. There you go. So it is a 40 here. I was thinking in my head it was probably a 40, but I just wanted to double check my notes. So again, we'll just skim speed off slowly down to 40 miles an hour. Overall, I've got to say this route, I enjoy it, but it's also a one that I find difficult to drive, and well, not difficult to drive, but difficult to commit to, because I think it's got a lot of very long scenarios, and that's definitely a me issue. Don't get me wrong, but I do feel like sometimes route creators get a bit carried away with end-to-end scenarios and don't do enough of the sort of sub 30-minute ones, because there's times you can only commit 30 minutes to train sim, and yeah. So this is going to be March, I believe. So yeah, you can see, if you look at the map, we've made it quite a way across. Yes, that's March, and that's Whitmore. So basically, these are two major yards in the area. But you can see we're about halfway there now. Got the last section here before we come into Peterborough, and we stop along the side down the side of Peterborough Station. So that is the entrance over there to Whitmore Yard, which is a major GBRF infrastructure yard at the moment. Give some towns. Give them a wave, and keep rolling. So I'm going to put the power back on now because the end of the train is now past the speed limit there. And we're back up to 60 miles an hour, which I believe then increases to 75. I had a panic lock there. I shouldn't have done that. That was cheating, and I do apologise. Fly by shot. Got wheel flat there, I heard. And then a little empty flat on the end there. So yeah, throttle's in full, and we're just, 45. I think I should have knocked some wagons off the end of this or double-headed, but I don't think these ever double-headed, and yeah, so the tractive effort at rail for this, on a good day, so the local weight, is 120 tonnes, and So, literally, these... I'm not sure which... So yeah, this got a 2,300 brake horsepower engine, running 1,700 kilowatts of power at the rate of power. That's not great. It's not like, wow, this thing's so powerful. It's amazing. Like, we might, fingers crossed, we'll get up to frickin', we'll get it up to 60 tonight, or up to 75 tonight. But I'm not holding out hope. I am not holding out hope. Yeah, so this one doesn't give you the ability to check how much you're pulling. So, yeah. Anyway, the Class 57 does have features to keep you amused during a journey. So when you go over on curves, this moves around, high-speed curves, and if you get bored of it, you can just get rid of it, put it back, get rid of it, and just click over there again, and it comes back. Tap the hot plate. Oh, crack the windows open, I guess. And unfortunately, the doors aren't simulated, but I'm going to leave the windows closed because it is loud on the loco today. So there are, with regards to DSD, there are two modes you can put it into. One is Dead Man's mode, which is what we're in now, and then you can put it in Vigilance mode, which you'll hear in a few moments when that activates next. Reading through the manuals, to be honest, for the time this came out, this was a good loco. Let's be honest. But unfortunately, like I say, I think if this had... So I wonder, actually, thinking out loud here, what would an APEP bring to a Class 57? Because you've got the sounds, probably the liveries, that would be handy. You know, new better sounds if we had those. But features-wise, they're mainly there. So, I don't know. So there you go. So that is the DVD, driver vigilance device. So, looking at the manual on the side here, this does actually have yeah, this does have a fault finding guide with it, which is quite cool. So yeah, it also has the option for advisory notifications, which is quite cool. I wonder what that sound of air escaping is. Oh, so it comes with TSR boards as well. It's quite cool. And yeah, and the Daleks for emergency indications. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We are at 65, the dizzying height of 65. I generally don't think we're going to make 75 on this journey, which is a shame, but it is what it is. It is what it is. See, I'm going to finish this, I'm going to go have a shower, freshen up a bit, and then it's time to think about getting ready for work. I'm definitely just going to be carried on caffeine today. That's the problem with messing your sleep cycle up. When you wake up about 1 or 2 in the morning, and you've got to be up at 6:30, 7 o'clock for work, there's just, I just really struggle to get back to sleep. I think I've turned nocturnal's what I've done. $60. I can ease off now. This will be for the approach to Peterborough. What I'm going to do is, now that I'm in coasting, I'm actually going to wait until I see the 35 Morpeth board. Not until I get the magnet for it, but until I see it. And then I'll ease down. Actually, I'm being paranoid. I'm going to throw myself into brake now. Yeah, I'm a bit ahead of myself. Let's put a bit more brake on, bit more brake. Want to get to 60 before that board. Let the brake off. That'll do me. Yeah, I got a bit ahead of myself there. Oops. There's a 75. What I'll do is I'll just whack my train length indicator. Poke my head out the cab window. You can see we've got quite a long today, like I say, so we will get the indication momentarily to accelerate. There's a 158 on the way. Give him a wave. Okay, I'm just going to accelerate now and just assume we've got the indication, because that is definitely more than a train length. Give a cheeky beep beep beep. I have managed to arrange to get Sunday off this week, which is nice. So I'm going to be going to York Comic Con. Wonder who I'm going to go as, but it's nice to just get out on the trains every now and again. I'm hopeful that my Beauxbatons dress should be here by then, and I could wear that. But yeah, just depends on it arriving in time. It's arrived from Ireland, and it's supposedly in UK customs at the moment. Well, as of 3 days ago. So, I'd presume that it'll be released from them soon, because then, as far as I'm aware, they're not allowed to charge me tax on it. So they should just go, it's from Ireland, it's not suspicious. Go for it, have fun. But who knows? And I know Royal Mail have got some industrial action going on, which, it's unfortunate, it's inconvenient, but again, I support it. At the end of the day, you stand up for, you stand up for your rights in the workplace. And, yeah, you're inconveniencing people, but so, ultimately, it is withdrawal of labour is a valid form of protest. If you do it in an organised fashion, yeah, like I say, it's a valid form, it's a valid form of saying I'm not happy with what's going on in my work. Therefore, 20 of us aren't showing up for work next week. Have fun figuring out how to deal with that. Well, actually, in the UK, you've got to give 2 weeks' notice at minimum. In the UK, it's actually really strict. Well, I say really strict. It's not, but it is. There's like some really interesting laws. Like, for example, in certain countries, bus drivers went on strike. And what they did is they still were driving. I think it was Japan this happened in. They were still driving and still taking people places, but they refused to collect any bus fares. And it's like, I get that, but that's actually legal in the UK apparently. So there's a 60 warning. So I'm going to leave us powering for a while. And then I've sighted the 35 there, so I'm just going to brake now. Get a decent brake application going. And we're going to slow to 35. So there's the 60, but no worries there. So the 35 is actually, I don't think you, can you make that out? I can't see OBS, so you probably can't. There is a bridge, just after this curve, but yeah. There's a 35 post, so we'll get down to that. So yeah, it's under that bridge. We want to pass under it at 30. Well, not, so yeah, the rail bridge, not the road bridge. Been over that bridge a few times. One of my favourite moments ever. Utterly hilarious. We were held literally just off the bridge. And the driver comes on the PA, absolutely creased at anything. And look, well, to be honest, he didn't come on absolutely creased. He came on, and I was actually a bit worried about them, if I'm honest, because basically he comes on the PA, and he's like, "Hi, everyone, just to let you know, we'll just stop because it's," and then the PA drops. I'm like, "Is he okay? Has he had a heart attack or something?" And basically, he couldn't stop laughing at the fact that we were being held because a swan had decided it wanted to sit on the train line, and a mom had been dispatched. That red is in a really terrifying position. So that's our 15 there, so we are a little bit exciting to come into this. And we go, and I'll hold my brake off. And I'm going to speed ever so slightly. There we go. So yeah, it was just me driving badly the last time that caused us to now become stalled. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stop basically against the red signal at the end of the platform, at the end of this siding here, not platform. This isn't a platform, that's a platform. This is a siding. There we go, so I'm just going to coast in. There's a class 91 leaving. Miss you. Yeah. But literally, we're just going to, we don't need to stop particularly directly against it. Just going to put a slight amount of brake on. Off. And the slightest tap just rolls us into a stand very nice and neatly here. Alright guys, so that is us stopped. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to see more from me on a regular basis, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye bye.